Nothing is evil in the beginning. And there was a time when the world was so young.
Rings of Power, Episode 3 Review. We begin with a captured Arindir being dragged through an orc work camp where many of the other captives are being kept and forced to work until he becomes chained himself and told to dig. He meets up with his fellow elves who have also been captured and must have been just as useless as he was in a fight. We then move to Galadriel waking up on a ship with Halbrand in its hold, who then move to the deck and meet its crew, who all stare at Galadriel, but its captain refuses any of her questions and will deliver her to his home to see his betters. We then move to some nice views of the ship and their destination.
Island Kingdom of Numenor.
I do like the visuals used for Numenor here and its establishing shots. Galadriel and Halbrand are brought ashore. We get the backstory to Numenor from Galadriel as she talks to Halbrand as they are escorted to the palace. The Numenors on the way all stare at Galadriel as she goes past. Halbrand takes a great interest in the local forge. They are brought straight to the Queen Regent and Chancellor Pharazôn, who seem to be in session with other Numenorians, as Halbrand gives Galadriel lessons in politics and humility, which Galadriel ignores and antagonizes the rulers of Numenor, demanding they give her a ship to Middle-earth, even willing to get violent to pay the price in blood to get what she wants. Halbrand diffuses the situation. Galadriel becomes a guest of the palace, and Halbrand is allowed to wander Numenor for 3 days while they decide what to do with him. Halbrand steals back Galadriel's dagger from the captain and gives it back to Galadriel and talks about the opportunity and peace they may both gain by being here, while Galadriel complains. The Queen Regent and Pharazôn talk about coming to a decision quickly and about the captain who brought them there, Elendil, and his son, Isildur. We move to Isildur as he trains on a ship but daydreams of land while hearing his name being called, but is shown to be competent as he fixes another crewmate's mistake. They then move to land and we hear the slogan of the sea god.
The sea is always right.
His friend mentions his daydreaming happening again, but he brushes it off. It's shown that one mistake and you are dismissed from training. We move to the Queen Regent as she talks of a prophecy involving a white tree and its falling petals, and questions Elendil about his motives for bringing an elf to Numenor when they have been unwelcome for so long, to which he replies,
"It was the sea that put her in my path, and the sea is always right."
The Queen Regent then gives him the task to watch over Galadriel. To the chained Arindir and company, who are being made to dig a trench for the orcs to stay out of the sun, he talks to the other elves about their leader, Adar, and that they are attacking villages in search of something. They decide that the first chance they get to scout the area above the trench, they should take it. They get in an argument with the orcs about cutting down a tree in their path, saying it has the right to live, which gets one of the elves killed, until Arindir says he will do it, like it's some great task, but cutting down the tree gives them a reason to get on top of the trench to scout the area, which is what they wanted in the first place, so the elf died for nothing. Back to Galadriel, as she has escaped the palace to see if she can steal a ship, to which Elendil talks her out of, but not before she threatens to kill the man who saved her life, as everyone hates her there. Elendil talks of his home, which speaks Elven, and that not all Numenorians hate elves. They both travel to Elendil's House of Law on horseback, which Galadriel takes great joy in. Halbrand wants to start a new life there, and only wants the chance to work in a forge, but is told he needs a guild crest to forge in Numenor. Later, while Halbrand is having dinner, he is confronted by a group of men who see Halbrand and the elf as a threat to their way of life. But Halbrand once again diffuses the situation and steals a guild crest from one of the men. The group of men catch up to Halbrand, who admits his guilt and once again tries to defuse the situation as he does not want any trouble until the men start attacking him. He then beats up the group of men and is caught by the guards. Galadriel and Elendil talk in the House of Law, and she finds out that the king is still alive and loyal to the elves, but was forced out because of it. They then search for the Mark of Sauron and find that it's actually a map of the Southlands, and that there is a plan to make a land where evil will thrive. To the Harfoots singing badly. Nori's parents worried about being left behind, but it will be okay as Nori is amazing and they will stay at the front of the caravan. Nori steals the star chart from the chief to give to the wizard. The rest of the Harfoots have a remembrance ceremony about all the people who they left to die, how they died, and even laughing about them, and out of the goodness of their hearts will add anyone else they leave behind in the book. The wizard turns up in camp and partially damages it by accident, and Nori's caravan is sent to the back as punishment. There was even talk of leaving her behind, but Nori still believes that she has done the right thing. It then moves to Elendil and his son and daughter, who get in an argument as Isildur wishes to defer his sea trials for a year. Elendil tells him that he only has his best interests at heart, that the western shore which they came from has nothing there for them.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
The daughter becomes an apprentice to the Builders Guild. Galadriel goes to see Halbrand. Halbrand once again says he wishes to stay and not go back to the Southlands, but Galadriel has found out the sigil he has is that of a king.
I found this on a dead man. Thought the pattern suited me.
But Galadriel ignores him and pushes forward that there are no chance meetings. If he goes with her, they will redeem both their bloodlines. The Queen Regent Miriel informs the king that the moment they fear has come. The elf has arrived. The wizard helps Nori and her family at the back of the caravan from falling behind and is vindicated. Arindir and the other prisoners rebel against the orcs, breaking part of the trench, forcing them into the light, which makes them release a warg. The warg easily kills two elves who seem to lose their agility and are only able to attack one at a time. Arindir does not lose his elven agility and traps the warg, allowing the elven commander to free himself and get out of the trench. Arindir then kills the warg. The elven commander gets shot by arrows and dies, while Arindir watches on and is spared from death to meet Adar. So, episode 3, I like the shots of Numenor and their ships, even the characters of Halbrand and Elendil at times, but that was it. Galadriel once again proved herself to be arrogant, abrasive and stupid in her single-minded quest for revenge.
Who is this mortal who speaks to me as if he has the slightest idea who I am?
Isildur does not feel like the man who cut the ring from Sauron. The parts with Arindir are once again boring, drawn out, and make no logical sense. How did the elves never see that trench? The warg design looks like it came from the Lion King. The Harfoots are psychopaths who will leave you behind on the slightest chance.
You shall not have died in vain.
I'm not quite dead, sir.
Well, you shall not have been mortally wounded in vain.
I think I could pull through, sir.
Oh, I see.
Actually, I think I'm all right to come with you,
No,
sir.
no, sweet Concord, stay here. I will send help.
No, I feel fine, actually.
Farewell, sweet Concord.
I'll just stay here then, shall I, sir?
And honestly, could be cut from the whole episode, if not the series so far. Once again, there is poor dialogue and just a poor episode overall, but let's see if it picks up in the next episode.